Good evening, guys, and welcome to our weekly design review. And today's design review is going to be on logo design. So during the week, I asked the group members to work on a logo design project, and I sent this brief here to them. So the brand name is Eagle Mobile. A mobile phone company exists to make life easy for its users. The brand goal is to be better and different from every mobile company, the way Eagle is unique and different from every other bird. And we now have the logo reference. So the logo reference serves as the type of logo that the client is looking for. So whenever you have options like this from clients, you don't need to heady yourself on the type of option to come up with. All right. So what you just need to do is to go and check the look of these four brands. I mean, the look of the logo from these four brands, and use it to come up with the type of logo that the brand is looking for. All right. I'm sure so many of you are familiar with these four brands. You realize that they use more of they all used icon on their logo. So it means the logo you're going to come up with for these brands, you have the same feel, which is the creating of icon for the brand. Yeah, we have we have different types of logo design, but I'm not going to go into depth on that now. Our focus is on creating an icon for the brand. All right. So I need to appreciate the people who took their time to create the logo for today's review. Without you guys, we're not going to have this meeting today, and I appreciate you guys for going that extra journey to create the logo for me to critique. All right, so I have our very first logo here, so I'm going to hide this, and then we have this. So this logo here, the issue I have with this is not really much, but what I'm just going to say to this designer is to work on work on making use of too many elements on your logo. If you check out logos from these four brands that I sent to you, realize that they have less shapes on their logos, and this is the same picture you should also have in mind when working on logos to ask you to check logos from those four brands. So adding shapes is not going to help. So the idea here is to try as much as possible to make the logo simple. And another thing I think you also need to work on again is please stop trapping your icon. All right, stop putting your icon in a shape. If you're going to put your icon in a shape, I'm still going to go back to what I said previously, that instead of you using too many shapes, reduce the number of shapes that you're going to put in the box, because when you load the box with too many shapes, it's going to affect the visibility of the icon that you put inside the shape. One good example of a logo, a very popular brand with shapes in a box is God help me, Instagram. All right, now if you check Instagram, you realize that they are shapes in a small in a box, and you realize that they didn't use too many shapes inside that box. Rather, they even make the width of each of those shapes wider so that people can easily see the icon, even if it's far, from the eye. And another thing you need to work on again is when you are working on logo design projects, always picture the end result of the logo. All right, always picture the end result of the logo. Picture how the logo is going to come out on the brand's merchandise. So let's see what the logo looks like on a mobile phone. Like I said, try as much as possible to reduce the number of shapes that you have in your logo. All right, so let's go straight to our second design. All right, so on this second design here, the issue I have with this is that the shape is not really smooth. All right, now smooth shape most time is part of what help logo successful. When you want to use a straight line, make sure the line is straight. If you're trying to make a curve shape, make sure the curve shape is smooth. And the reason I'm saying this is because if you look at this logo here, you realize that this part here is not really smooth. Well, this part here is not also smooth, and this alone is not even making this look like an eagle. All right, so it's not really successful. This logo is not successful. And then again, your font here, it looks too playful. All right, we're talking of a corporate organization here, so your font also matters. All right, so use more of corporate font on your logo design project. So let's see what the mockup is. Let's see what it looks like on the mockup. Good mockup design, but I'm still going to go back to what I said. Your logo, work on it. Your shape, please make it smooth and neat. All right, so let's go straight to our third design. Okay, so this logo here is abstract, and I have serious issue with this. The space between the shapes, yeah, I'll just say shape, is too much. So avoid too much space on your logo design project. It's not always good. All right, space is good, but when it's too much, it's not always nice. In fact, the nature of our job is to try as much as possible not to allow too much space. But too much of anything in graphic design is not good. Okay, so your space, work on it, is too much. And again, avoid the use of gradients on logo design. It's not always good. Avoid the use of gradient color on logo design. Gradients colors always gradient logo always limits the place where the logo is supposed to be used. There are some designs that you do for the brand. If you use gradient on the logo, that gradient will not allow that logo to fit well on the design. So let's see what the logo looks like on a mockup. All right, so now you see what I'm saying. So if you check the logo on this background, you realize that it's not really looking nice at all. It just looks somehow, it looks childish. And then the way you place it here also is not nice. All right, so yeah, so those are the three logos I received from the group members. And I don't want to just be the teacher that only say and not do. All right, I like to do and I say. All right, so after going through the brief, I came up with the look that I believe will help the brand. All right, solution I'm going to share with you guys now is not the only solution to achieve this type of project. There are thousands of concepts that you can come up with, but what I'm going to show you guys today is going to be part of the options that you can add to your options if you're asked to work on logo designs like this. All right, so I'm going to go to what I drew on my paper here. So this is what I drew on my paper, and the reason why I decided to come up with this look is because the brand is more focused on ego. All right, if you notice on the background, they want to be different from every other brand the way Eagle is different from every other brand. Okay, so you should know that their focus is the Eagle. So when you come up with a logo for them and they see something around that, Eagle look on their logo, trust me, they will still consider that logo. All right, because since that is their focus should be what you should put on their logo design project or part of the options you're going to send to them. All right, so I'm going to quickly show you guys how I use Illustrator to come up with logo design projects, and I'm sure somebody's excited already. Okay, so I'm going to switch to Illustrator now. So I'm just going to copy it. So I'm going to Control C, and I'll go to Illustrator and paste it. All right, yeah, so this is it here. Okay, so then I'm going to lock the layer and create a new layer. Well, let's just make it a piece because we're going to be drawing shapes. Right, so for those of you that don't know how to use Illustrator to come up with logos, so I'm going to show you today. So whenever you are trying to draw a logo from your drawing book, all right, or maybe from the screenshot you took with your phone, what you need to do is to check the look of the lines on the logo. So check where you have straight line. So anywhere you have straight line, is that you use stroke to achieve the straight line, or use box? Where you have curved part on the logo, use circle to achieve that curved part. So if you check this, my logo here, I have more of curved part here. So I'm going to use more of circle to achieve that. All right. So I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to draw shape here. So sorry, we need to be on the new layer. So if you want to create a new layer, just click on this icon here. Okay. So I'm going to draw a shape now. So I'm going to move this here. All right. And I'll use red as my stroke here, and this should be on no fill. So I'm going to make the width of my stroke bigger so I can see the width. All right. So I'll hold down Alt, position this here, and then I'm going to make this bigger. Okay. Here. Yeah, that's good. Well, let's just centralize it. So just center this. Yeah, this is good. So I'm going to make a copy of this. Just position this here. It should be here. All right. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm trying as much as possible not to go outside of the look of my logo. And because of that, I'm going to go back to what I said previously. I'm trying to make sure that shapes that look like the part of my logo is what I'm applying to the part. All right, to that part. All right, so you can rewind this part and then listen to it again so you can get what I'm trying to say. All right, so I'm going to make a copy of this again, and I'm going to make this smaller. I'll zoom in, and this should be here. And yes, so I'll make a copy of this again and just position this here. But this can now be a bit smaller. Zoom in, let's position this here. Like so. The copy again. Make this bigger. This here. Okay. So I'm going to draw a straight line in here. Okay. So for this side here, I'm just going to position this here. All right. I know some of you are wondering, okay, Ceasar, why can't we just trace what you drew? Now, the reason why it's always good to work this way is because the drawing on the paper is just to have a picture of what you're going to draw when you get to your PC. So the work of the PC is to fine-tune what you drew on your paper. Okay. So let's see if we are good now. I think we're good. Yeah. So I'm going to select all the shapes now, and I'm going to use the shape builder. Yeah, that's the name. It's called shape builder. Cut out the unwanted part of my project here. So I'm going to start with this. So I'm going to hold down Alt. I'm holding down Alt now. So Alt is what we use to subtract. Now, please don't forget, guys, you need to make sure you select all the shapes. Okay. So for this side here, I'm going to notice. Let's just do it one after the other. So I'm going to take this out. Take this out. So I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to let's take this out. Yeah, take this out. Alt. I'm still holding on Alt, guys. Don't forget to hold on Alt. Yeah, so I'm gonna hold on Alt and just take this out. Take this out. Don't let this. Okay, so I'm gonna hide this and select all the shapes and weld it. Okay. So then I'm gonna change the color. All right, so here, let's see. So I'm just going to take out some points here because it's always good to do that. It's always good to do that, all right? So we need to still fine tune it. So I'm going to delete this. Okay, this is what we have now. All right, so this is beautiful. All right, so I'm going to just let's just make this big. All right, so this is our logo, and let me change the color to black. Yeah. And if I copy this now and take this to Photoshop, so I've copied it. So I'm going to hit Ctrl V to paste it. Oops. So then I'm going to make this smaller. Right, smaller like so. So guys, if you are creating a mock-up for your logo design, all right, whenever you notice that you're placing your logo on a surface that has glass, please don't just paste the logo the way you copied it from your application and paste it on your Photoshop. make it look real, make it look like the way it is, the way things appear in real life. And this is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to change the color of this to black. Not even black. It should not be black because there's nothing that we don't have anything that is 100% black. All right. So yeah. So then I'm going to create a new layer. All right. But I'm still going to copy this. I'm going to make a copy of this for now. I'll hide this. Then I'll use the lasso tool to draw a shape here. Let me just make it X. Okay, and I'll fill this with control backspace because it's the color of my background here. So I'm going to reduce the opacity and click this. I'm holding on Alt and click this inside the shape. All right, so if you look at it now, you see this is looking more like it's real. All right, so for this side here, I'm going to use the quick selection tool to just pick. Sorry, it needs to be on this layer, right? So just gonna that's so right. And it will make the expand it a bit. So I'll go to select, modify, expand, and use one. All right, then create a new layer and fill this with this color here. So it doesn't feel lighter. Hold on, Alt, hit backspace to fill it. All right. So get the very filters from this. So hit the enter key. So this is going to serve as the welcome screen. All right. So I'm going to move this here and change the color of this to white. All right. So another thing I want you guys to know again is, please guys, whenever you are creating mockup online, or if you're creating mockup for your logo design project, you also need to consider contrast. And I noticed so many of you, those of you that sent your logos for me to critique, did not do that. Contrast is also important where creating mockup is concerned. You'll notice that the color I have on the screen of this phone is not what I have here. And the reason why I decided to use this black here is because the back of the phone is white. All right, so it's always good to contrast is very key in graphic design. Okay, so for the welcome screen logo, I'm going to hit rasterize because most time when you turn on your phone, that logo always have this light effect in it. So how to now defeat that light effect here is to add glow. All right, so I'm going to double click on the layer and I'm going to activate outer glow here, and my size is going to be 1. Yeah, 1 is fine. I'm going to select OK button and see we have a beautiful mock-up for our logo projects. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's review. I'm going to stop here, and if you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Please guys, help other creatives. All right, share this video with them, let them also enjoy what you just enjoyed. All right, so yeah, so I'll see you again in the next design review. Peace.